All right, so we've got a draft here starting up in 10 seconds. And I'm just going to go through this draft and kind of talk through what my picks are and why. All right, here we go. Draft is starting. So we hop in. Let's see what pick we got. All right, we are sixth pick out of 8. It's not terrible. I actually don't mind this spot. You can get two really strong picks kind of in a row. And being just before the beginning of the end gives you a lot of power to see what roles are pinched, and then you can kind of delay picking those roles. So we got two bot laners going right off the bat. People must have watched my other video. See prioritized bot lane. I wouldn't be surprised to see Perks or maybe not Power People, but Jensen. Perks, Jensen are probably, I would say, the next couple of picks here. So at this point, we've already missed out on two of the top bot laners. And yeah, if more bot laners decide to go, then we just kind of tank that role and aim to pick like a top tier mid laner, top laner, to make sure that we're getting those kind of top 4 teams, getting those team points. Yeah, wow, Blabber taken very early. I honestly don't think that that Blabber's that. I would not take Blabber third. I think like Santorin, Spica, Closer, they're all going to be really good. Not like Blabber's not going to be that much better than them. Whereas Sven above maybe FBI is a bit of a bigger gap. All right. We're almost hoping that more AD carries get taken because it makes our pick really easy then. Just go for that mid laner. I would say right now I'm probably leaning towards Perks. If we can't get Perks, maybe Jensen. Yeah, probably Perks or Jensen. That would be my 2 picks right now. This is the sucky thing about doing a draft that's on a timer instead of it being, yeah. So this guy ran out of time and yeah, there we go. Perks, Jensen, both gone. All right, now to my pick. So mid lane, bot lane both have 2 gone. I think it's still worth taking. I think I'm probably going to take Power of Evil here. I don't think he'll last through both the rest of the next 2 picks. It's kind of between Power of Evil and maybe FBI. Power of Evil does put up really good farm numbers though, generally, and he plays pretty solid champs for farming usually. So I'll take Power of Evil. Now we're hoping that mid lane, those mid lane picks continue to come in. Alfari, that's a good pick there. Yeah. It's interesting because TL and C9 are probably the top 2 teams, but Fudge didn't look fantastic in the lock-in tournament, so it's hard to know how he'll show up. So I think people are hesitant to pick Fudge, but just being on C9, like Fudge could be getting smashed in farm, so you lose those 2 farm differential points, but you still get 3 points for first turret bot lane or first Drake. That could be a decent trade to make. So Core JJ's gone. This kind of happened in the other draft that I did earlier just to test out the software where Core JJ ends up going really early and then all the rest of the supports kind of end up like last. Interesting that people put so much pressure on Core JJ. So I think all of Team Liquid is pretty much gone. Just jungle that's left up. Well, never mind. There's the Team Liquid jungler. So Team Liquid's all gone. Could be looking to try to get a C9 player here in the next pick. C9 has Fudge and Vulcan left. I think I can probably wait for Vulcan, considering on the snake, like it's not going to snake around at this point here, right? Like it jumps back. So after Frohe picks here, then it'll go to me. All right, so FBI is taken. I don't love stacking like all the same team. That's not that was probably not fantastic. I kind of am leaning towards closer here. I mean, three of the next people who have to pick have already taken 80 carries. So if we wait on our bot lane pick a little bit, we can probably still get a decent bot laner. So I think I'm going to go towards closer. He looked really strong in the lock-in tournament, so we'll pick closer here. Where's jungle closer? And yeah, so now we'll see there's 5 picks before us, but 3 of them already have 80 carries. So there's really only 6 picks. So there's really only the next 3 people who could take 80 carries. I'd love to get Lost if I could, but I would settle for Wild Turtle. All right, all of C9 is gone. That's interesting. So C9's gone. We're kind of looking at TSM and 100 Thieves now are the next 2 teams that we really want to be looking at. I would love to take Huhi. That would be awesome. I might look at doing that depending on how the supports go. I think he's probably the 3rd best support in terms of point value. It'd be interesting to see whether or not it's worth taking. Wow, Broxa. Oh my goodness. So you can see top lane is starting to get pinched a little bit, but man, I would not have taken Broxa there. Yikes. I think that's a pretty big mistake. Ooh. So you can get bios and stuff on the players too if you don't know quite as much. So Ignar gets taken. It's pretty balanced draft. There's no one role that's being really pinched too much here. So we're really looking for probably 80 carry. I'm really liking Lost here. If Lost doesn't get picked by Alpha J, I think Lost is the pick to go for. I'm not much of a TSM fan, but I will cheer for TSM if they're going to win me the fantasy league. If I had to guess, honestly, I think Lost is probably the best pick for this guy. Wow, he goes for Impact, eh? So, Huni's still available too. Man, these TSM players are so underrated. They actually look pretty decent at the lock-in tournament. I think they're solid 4th place. Sword Art gets picked up. Who do we have left for support? So Huhi's left. I already got closer. So let's see. All of these guys have to pick twice before us. There's 2 top laners, 2 supports, 2 junglers, 2 mids. It's exactly the same. There's no one role that we should be looking at here. I think I'm going to go for bot lane just because the thing is there's 6 picks of potential bot lane. Do we think Wild Turtle will last? Because I would love to get Turtle. And then we could go for we go for Huni or Huhi. That's kind of where my thought process is. I think Huni will put up better numbers than Huhi will, so we'll take Huni here. I'm kind of hoping, I would love Wild Turtle to sift through here. I think I would not be surprised. Yeah, so there he goes. Wild Turtle's gone on 3-5, which is too bad, but now, honestly, I think we're probably just going to wait for last pick for bot lane. Well, Lost is still up. I mean, this guy's probably taking Lost on his next pick, right? The race guy, because it'll snake back. Honestly wonder if I maybe should have taken Alfari in the first round. I'm thinking now that I'm trying this out that I probably wouldn't take Power of Evil first round just because the rest of TSM's team is really not valued very highly. People are not picking TSM players they're not putting priority on them. And I don't want to end up with an entire TSM team. Huni went 3rd round, Sword Art went 3rd round, and Lost is still available. Lost is going to be 4th round, which is crazy to me that Wild Turtle and Johnson both get picked before Lost. I wonder if it's just the software and where he's ended up, but we got one guy left to pick before us who potentially could take an AD carry. Right here. So hoping that he doesn't take Lost. That would be great. I think this guy's probably looking like top lane. I'm going to guess this next pick. Oh, Pole Belter. He takes Pole Belter. Interesting. I think Fudge. Fudge is probably what this guy's picking here. I would go Fudge and then Lost are my two predictions. But we'll see. Now, the one nice thing about this setup is that players who get subbed out, you actually get the sub. So you don't have to worry too much about picking a player who you're not sure if their like visa issues will work out or something like that. I think that's partly why Broxa went so early. Haven't seen Finn go. We could potentially pick up Finn here. Oh no, we have Huni already. So this is the moment of truth here. We got 40 seconds left on the clock. Is this person going to take Lost? That's the big question. They also don't have a mid laner, but honestly, out of everyone who's left, I would take Lost over over all of those. So I think it's the right call for him to go Lost, which is too bad, but hoping that it sneaks through. Our support choices are really, really limited here. And there's no point in taking support with our next pick because we're going to, like, we pick 4-6 and there's no picks before our next pick. And Lost is gone. Ah, man. We probably waited too long for a bot laner. This is too bad. I think I'm probably going to end up taking Deftly here. I'd take Deftly and then maybe Afromoo. Dignitas doesn't look great, but potentially Diamond. It's hard to know how FlyQuest is gonna play. I think their first few weeks they'll probably get smashed. Yeah, so there's no point in picking support, like I said. So we'll take, yeah, definitely not my best draft ever. I think I probably wouldn't take, like I said, Power of Evil. I took too early. He was one of the best mid laners. I think he'll put up really good points compared to someone like Jizuke. Like he will, but I also then waited too long to take Lost because I didn't want to have too many TSM players. So in some ways, Lost going is actually not a bad thing. It allows us to have a little bit more diversity on our team. And then in terms of support here, we're probably taking Afromoo. I think that makes sense. Afro is a great player. Maybe Diamond? I don't know. FlyQuest support, playing with Johnson. Or Afro's playing with Neo. Yeah, I think we'll probably go for Diamond actually. Switch things up a little bit. Take Diamond on our next pick here. Yeah, Diamond it is. So, yeah, wow, Fudge goes so late in this draft. That's really interesting. That I do not want to go up against Zweiss in the first round here. He is a solid team. Jensen, Vulcan, Johnson, Spica, and Fudge. Man, you got Spica and Fudge in the last two picks. I'm liking the TSM top side of the map here that we've got, and I think Closer will perform really well. Like definitely, like I would say Closer might even put up better points than Blabber. Broxa. Blabber has a tendency to get caught out even when he is playing well, getting a lot of points for his team, or like getting lots of kills and stuff. He'll often throw away a couple of kills. I know he's gotten better at that, but especially in this meta where they can put him on such aggressive supports. But that's pretty much the draft then. So we'll see here who we end up getting matched up against. So once this pick goes through, then we'll get matched up against someone else, and we'll just take a quick look at their team and maybe what might work for picks and bans. What does this guy need? He needs a top laner. Who's left for top? Might be stuck with Finn. Oh, he ends up going with solo. Well, I know Finn's visa issues, but all right. So we look, we're going to be up against rice farmers first. So we're playing against Someday, Blabber, Palafox, Lost, and Huhi. Should be a pretty decent matchup. if we look, we'll have to take a look at the schedule, and I'll show you guys a little bit about how to choose your picks and bans in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and stay up to date with all the fantasy tips that you need.